Hi guys, and welcome back to the Average Hashtag Gamer channel. It's AP here, and today we are doing something a little bit different. We've gone to the single player mode and we are on the championship section. And for those of you who've not done this mode yet, there's lots of different options in the championships mode section. You can do the full F1 2019 championship with one of the actual drivers. You can do an F2 championship. There's lots of legendary events you can do. There's lots of classic cars events you can do. But we are going to focus on a little less known one called the Asia Pacific Series. 5 races for the World Championship, and we are aiming to answer one really important question in this championship. So for this championship we are going to be in a Renault, and we are using the most underrated driver in F1, Nico Hulkenberg. 177 races without a podium. So the question we're answering is, can we get Nico on the podium? Now the first round's in Australia. Now, some of you will be saying you're not going to get a Renault on the podium because you've got 6 other cars ahead of you which are faster. But the beauty of the Asia Pacific Series is that every single grid is random. There's no qualifying. So let's see where we are on the grid for this race. Lance Stroll's in pole. He's probably paid for that. Followed by Max Verstappen in the front row, then Alex Albon, Sebastian Vettel, Carlos Sainz and Valtteri Bottas, Kimi Raikkonen, here we go, 8th place and 9th place, both the Williamses. Then we've got some more midfield runners. As we carry on down the grid, Charles Leclerc's had a nightmare, as has Lewis with 15th and 16th, and we are 20th on the grid. Thanks a lot, F1 2019. Right, so we'll cut to the grid, we're 20th and we're aiming for 3rd place. Lights out and away we go. Not a bad start. Can we make up a few places at turn 1? Think about having to dive up the inside. Think against it. Just try and get out turn 1 safely. Into turn 2. We've got a better drive than Gasly, so we have to pull out of that a bit. And diving up the inside into turn 3. Lots of cars being held up by the Williamses. We dive up the inside of Leclerc, sorry. We're now up to 15th and we're battling with Lewis Hamilton for 14th place. I never thought I'd say those words, but most of you people will probably be saying, how is a Renault catching Mercedes? Look at the queue of traffic in front of him. He's being really badly held up, and so we've got a chance of actually overtaking the Mercedes with a Renault in a standard mode on F1 2019. And there we go, diving up the inside again. We've got up to 12th place. Starting from 20th, we've got to be a bit risky with our driving to get Hulkenberg up to 3rd and onto the podium. Here we go. Can we catch Giovinazzi at this point? After he muscled his way around me. Just got to wait and be patient. I think we're a lot faster than him. Take an interesting line through that corner in the final sector. So yeah, Nico Hulkenberg is one of my favourite drivers in F1 2019. I think he's really underrated. I'm really sad that he's not on the grid anymore, but 129 races without a podium. The most unwanted record in F1, and Nico Hulkenberg holds that record. So I want to see over the course of the next 5 episodes whether we can break that duck and how many times we can get him on the podium. Here we go, we're trying to get closer to 3rd place by getting around the outside of Giovinazzi, and each of these races we're doing in the World Championship is only 5 laps long, so they're fast, they're furious, and we've got to try and get up the grid as quick as possible. We cut ahead to lap 3, and lo and behold, the Williams has caused loads of problems for these 2 drivers, held them up, and now we're the next one in line to try and get past Kubica. Much quicker than that Williams, but I think the tractor's probably quicker than the Williams of 2019. Trying to set him up for an overtake here. We're going to get round him before the braking zone, and we've got past him quite quickly, which is quite nice. Next person up the road is Ricciardo, our teammate. We're going to cut a little bit to the start of lap 4, and here we go. We've got more overtakes happening. Different drivers struggling to get around each other because of another Williams. George Russell this time. We're going to try and go around the outside. Ooh, contact with Norris there. but we got past him and we're up to 9th place, and we've got 1.5 laps to go. Can we get up to 3rd? I think we've been a bit optimistic, but stick with me and let's see how far up the field we can get. I think if we can catch this Williams quite quickly, we've got a really good opportunity of getting at least into the top 6. But unfortunately at this point it appears that the Williams has found a turn of pace that it hasn't had for the entire race, and suddenly it's become uncatchable. How? I don't know. So we're going to chase him through. Yeah, each race I'll put into a different episode and we'll upload them as regularly as we can. But each race is 5 laps long, and like I said at the start, every single grid is completely random. That's why we've got a Williams in 8th place at the minute, and Lewis Hamilton struggling at the back of the grid. The reason I chose 5 lap races is because if you do 25% on these championships, the big cars get to the front quite quickly, and it becomes pointless. Whereas 5 laps, it's insane, it's bonkers racing, and you can actually have quite a lot of fun. And here we go, we're going around George Russell, around the outside. He's taken an interesting line through turn 1, and we're round through the outside at the start of lap 5. I also think, depending on your experiences of F1 2019 online, this is probably the closest thing you'll get to. Oh, George Russell coming up the inside. He's taking an interesting line through 3, through 4. We push him wide. There we go. I think hopefully that's the end of George Russell. This is probably the closest you'll ever get to F1 2019 online. And here we go, end of lap 5. We got up to 8th from 20th. And so the wait for a podium goes on for Nico Hulkenberg. 178 races without a podium. Thanks for watching episode 1 of Can We Get Nico on the Podium. Whilst you're waiting for episode 2 to upload, why don't you check out some other content from the Average Gamer channel, which is popping up on the left hand side of the screen now. There's one video that I've picked that you might enjoy, and there's another one that's recommended by YouTube. If you've enjoyed this video, remember to click the like button, subscribe to my channel. I've been AP, and I'll see you soon.